Bruce have a new innovation, and from what I hear and see, I think it's going to be a great idea. Secondly is, as everyone's moving away from polystyrenes and away from straws, etc., I saw last week, I was reading an editorial, and it was certain companies are no longer going to be storing products made with palm oil. Do you know what palm oil is? Palmoline, palm oil, I mean there's so many names about it. Yes, it's cheaper than sunflower oil. It also puts a whole lot of gingers out of home. Do you know what a ginger is? It's an orangutan. Do you know what an orangutan is? It's a ginger ape. So, the point being is that as times change and people are changing, you guys need to start making yourselves aware of this so that you can be the leader in innovation moving forward to looking after the world that we need. Remember, 10 years is going to equate to 10,000 years. So, with further ado, I'd like to call Dave and Bruce up. I do believe we have checked the AV more than once. And please give them your time, open your ears, and learn, because that's something I'm going to be doing. And I've been chatting to Dave and Bruce earlier this morning, and you know, we come from so many separate parts of this industry, yet we had so many common interests. So, Dave, Bruce, really welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Santos, very much. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, yeah. I was asked just to ask you, please, if you don't mind, are you actually having fun? Cool. So what I want to do is I want to extend that a little bit. You know what one of the worst things is that can happen to you is that late at night when you're walking around and somebody comes behind you and they give you this big fat stranglehold and they're starting to strangle the life out of you. You're not feeling so good anymore. And particularly if it's a big thug like that Green Hulk over there, rather than a small thug, so you feel your life is at an end, and you want to know how then does that relate to oil at all. But the question really is, what is in your food? And you all know the question, you know the answer. The answer is oil. But do you know what's in the oil? See, because that is what's in the food. And you know, for the last 5 months, Bruce is my partner. My name is Dave Metzler. Sorry, I forgot to introduce. I didn't forget, actually, and not to introduce myself, Dave Metzler, because I was doing that well enough. And I also want to thank Sean Monroe, because he invited us to come and explain this thing to share our new technology, which has just arrived on the shores of South Africa. Bruce is going to improve on that, enlarge on that, expound on that in a few minutes. So what we want to know is what is in the food. The oil is in the food. What is in the oil? And in the last 5 months, we've discovered amazing things, because I don't have a background in the culinary industry. Bruce and I have been fighting. We're fighting partners. We've done Krav Maga, we've done Jiu-Jitsu, we've done Karate, we've done some new things called Defender, which makes all those things look like boys. You kill a person in a few seconds, and that's what Bruce and I has done. Bruce has got, what is it, Bruce? 30 years of martial arts and stuff. Not that that relates to oil, of course, forget about that statement that I've just made, but we kind of like tuned in now to this culinary industry. We've been around so many kitchens in the last 5 months. That's how old this thing is for us. But allow me to just elaborate a little bit and say that it's not only 5 months old, this technology. It's actually been going for 15 years in 50 countries. We are the latest country to be appointed by Canada. And I'm happy because I paid a lot of money. But besides that, I'm going to give you guys I'm a businessman, right? Bruce is like an amazing worker. He's just he's an ex-policeman. He's kind of like really cool. So Bruce is the guy you're going to be dealing with when he comes to your place to demonstrate this amazing technology. Amazing. So it fell in my lap, and now I want to put it into your lap, if you don't mind. The dangers that are in cooking oil, I don't know why I'm looking there because I've got one here. As soon as cooking oil gets into the 180 degree centigrade temperature it starts to change for the worse, like some of our mother-in-laws. And so, now I'm serious, please don't laugh at that, it's a terrible thing. But most of us know what an aldehyde is, and if we don't, most of us will know what a formaldehyde is, because that they put in corpses so that it can last forever. And you can watch your mother-in-law in the coffin for years to come. Formaldehyde, you know what I'm saying? It's like dangerous toxins. So these are the things. You can read them all there, triglycerides, LOPs. LOP stands for lipid oxidized product. What that means is like, explain it best in your cooking oil. Remember, this is all in your cooking oil, right? Okay, so you're going out serving all your gorgeous meals to your paying guests, and guess what happens? You're actually starting to poison them. Let me just explain what a LOP does, LOP. It breaks down the cellular, the membrane around the cells in your body. That's how cancer starts, diabetes, all those things that we don't enjoy. And if you imagine a boat getting shot by a cannonball, bang, 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 you get all these little holes in it. Well, that's what happens to our cells from the cooking oil that we've heated to 118. Okay, so this is like not good news. I guess, we're going to have to rethink our diet. Now, I can give you probably hundreds of links. Now, Bruce will give you all his calling cards, his email address. If you get hold of him, he'll send you all these links, because you might not believe me, but there are thousands of scientists around the world, cleverer than I am, most of them are, and they will explain to you that what I'm saying is true. So you can be rest assured, I'm not lying. The government in South Africa, after this listeria thing, got a little bit tired of the abuse of, it wasn't just cooking oil, it's foodstuffs in general. As Sandra's mentioned earlier, with regards to cleanliness in the kitchen. And we don't want to run foul of that, because those days are coming when the policemen are going to start marching into our kitchens and they're going to give us hefty fines. At the moment, $40,000, 40,000 rands, thank you, Bruce, and about 7 years in jail if you get caught abusing cooking oil. And there are some terrible things happening with cooking oil. Some establishments will sell their old cooking oil to the poorer communities, will use it for another 2 years, and this heart failure and the cancer and the diseases is all coming from this cooking oil. Now, I don't want to labor this issue because we've only having a few minutes, but you did give me an extra few minutes. Thank you, Warren. Okay, cool. So, 180 degrees, if you have a look at the chart, it's up very quickly. These aldehydes race in, and within 30 minutes, the last column, you've got far in excess of the kind of aldehydes, toxins and poisons that is acceptable. But there is a solution to all of this. And obviously that's where we're going to start talking about my little magic, what do they call these things, Kelsey? Tambourine, thank you. But it's not a tambourine. So I'm not going to break out into song. I'm not burden you with that terrible thing. Bruce, I wonder if you wouldn't mind now showing the solution. Bruce is an expert in this thing, and then I'll come back after him, and then I'll tell you about how much it costs, and then I'll have little cushions next to you, so when you faint, before a cushion.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm sure that you would agree, okay, that any food that is cooked faster, that doesn't have any toxins or carcinogens in it, is going to be a desirable element of your kitchen on multi-level. Okay, so there's a technology now available, which I'm sure that you really want to know about, that is going to improve the quality, it's going to improve all these elements that you require in terms of providing this quality product into your kitchen. And as Dave very rightly put it, obviously your heated oil is going to, going to be providing you this, these carcinogens and these toxic elements in your oil. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that we're providing this good quality oil that's not going to be giving you all these toxins. And I'm sure that this would be a serious thing that you want to consider. So Would it be something that you want to consider? Well, hell yeah. I think it's something that you'd be seriously looking at wanting to put into your kitchen. So, why are you in business? Okay. And the reason being is that Frylow is going to provide you with a significant cash back element. It's going to provide you with new technology that's going to emphasize the two basic points as to why you're in business in the first place. And I think Xanthos basically mentioned it a bit earlier. He said 95% of your job basically is the business side, 95% is the cooking. So with this particular product, you're going to be catering to those 2 points. So welcome to the Messiah in your fryer. If I told you that this technology was available and it could guarantee a drastically reduced flavor crossover, that it would be providing you a negatively charged oil, and that you would be reducing drastically your top-ups during the course of your cooking, and that there's a tremendously low maintenance element to it, there's a working life of 15 plus years, and it guarantees you at least a 50% reduction in your oil cost, and still provide you with this tastier, crispier food that's going to look great at the plate when you present it to your client. And I'm sure that this would be something that you really want to put into your kitchen.
Introducing the Frylow oil line extension technology with celebrity chef Basil McCray.
Are you a professional chef or operator? Then you understand how important it is to take advantage of every opportunity to reduce costs while still providing consistent execution and quality to your guests. Why would any company operate a portion of their business at a higher cost with longer execution time to produce lower quality foods? Does this make sense? No. Well, if you operate deep fryers and you aren't using Frylow's catalytic technology, that is exactly what you're doing. But don't take our word for it. Chef Ferdinand Metz, former president of the Culinary Institute of America for over 21 years, and current managing director of the Master Chefs Institute, would tell you himself that if you are operating a deep fryer without a Frylow device in it, you're producing lower quality fried foods with longer execution times and spending twice as much on cooking oil as needed.
We understand just how busy operators are and how difficult it is to spot real opportunities to improve your business. However, with Frylow, we make it easy. Setting aside all the testimonials and the Master Chef endorsements, we can prove that what we are saying is true with a simple 15-minute demonstration in your kitchen. And it works like this. On the day that you're ready to throw out your oil, we will place a Frylow device in your old dark oil, and within minutes, your oil will be cooking good as new. And that oil that you were ready to throw out will last for several days more too. And just imagine what it can do in new oil. Call us today to arrange for a free demonstration. The only way to lose is to continue to operate your deep fryers without a Frylow device in them. Call us today.
Right. There you heard it from the experts. Okay, now I come and do that demonstration for you, and we demonstrate the efficacy of this technology in a very simple manner. We come to your establishment, and we take oil or used oil that is going to be about to be thrown out. In other words, probably been in your fryer for 3-4 days. We take a batch of chips preferably, and we put it into your oil. We cook it, we plate it, and then I take this little machine, okay, and I pop it into your oil. We wait about 3 or 4 minutes. Waves its magic wand over the oil. The oil starts to bubble, and it conditions the oil. It starts negatively charging the oil, and it makes the oil thinner, and it starts providing you with that quality that you're looking at. We then take another similar batch of food, be it chips. We pop it into that oil. We bring it out after it's cooked, and we compare the two. And as you can see there in these pictures, there's only one real batch there that you're going to want to actually present to your clients, or package to your clients. And it looks like it's actually been cooked in fresh oil, conditioning process. We've documented some tests that we've done recently at the Wimpy Pavilion. This was done very recently. In fact, it was done. We finished it this week or last week. there showed a significant oil saving of 50%. This is actual figures of their variance reports. They, in a 130-day period, they saved themselves 54 liters in absorption into the food. The figures speak for themselves. And we... Sure? Yeah, that was the 220 liters saved, basically the 50% sales saves on the oil cost. So equating to about 4,000 rand. That was just on one fryer, by the way. Okay. Michelle Taylor, who was the owner of the establishment, provided us with a fantastic testimonial where she said that this letter serves to confirm that we were given the opportunity by Frylow to test its effectiveness over a 1-month period, and I was amazed and believed that it stood up to what was promised. The life of the oil was extended by twice, and as such, half of our usual stock usage during the normal two normal weeks of trade, saving a roughly 50% due to less purchases and the extended life of the oil. The second 2 weeks had 10 days of school holidays, and we found that we did use more oil to top up, however, did use less than the previous seasonal periods. Frying at 170 and 174 degrees centigrade did not negatively affect our product. And lastly, the quality of the end product was excellent, and at no point did the chips change color or soak up any oil. And I would definitely recommend installing Frylow. That came from the owner of Durban at the village. So you're welcome to contact her and discuss this with her so we can verify this. Fantastic outcome. We were very, very pleased. I don't know if Sean is here, Sean Monroe, but he gave us permission some time ago, a couple of months ago, to perform a test at the Elangeni Hotel, kind of a slightly different format than the one we did at the Wimpy. And Atizam Razul, he was the guy that manned the test fryers for us. And they were running an event which had about 600 guests there over an 8-hour, 9-hour period. We had 2 fryers. One was a test fryer or a control fryer, while the other one had our unit in it. And they obviously batch for batch cooked that through that period of time and really hammered that oil using Sean's words. The idea was to really make this product work, to see if it was going to withstand that kind of abuse. At the end of the day, they took a sample out of each fryer, and as you can see very clearly there, the one on your right is thick and gooey. That was a sample that was taken out of the fryer without our unit in, and the one on your left is still good for use. So that was also quite a comprehensive test from our perspective. And during the cooking process, Atizam took this particular photograph showing you that in the unit without our Frylow unit, there was a lot of foaming that was taking place. The oil was still kind of viscous, and the unit that had our Frylow unit in it, you can see there the oil is thinner, there wasn't any foaming taking place. So a huge difference, not only with what we've seen before, but also with the sight and the foaming side of things as well. Great outcome for us. And then lastly, we wanted to mention this particular element, which the Frylow company put together as a result of the attention now drawn to your carbon footprint and how to save the environment. This impactulator shows quite conclusively how we can, using a Frylow, how we can really look after our environment. And all of you sitting in this room, some of you are leaders in this particular industry. And I think it's kind of incumbent on us, from our perspective, in terms of educating you about these new technologies, but also on you guys as the leaders in this particular field, to actually take responsibility and start learning and start pushing, as Xanthos has been doing tonight or this afternoon. And in this particular impactulator, some of the figures that they were given, unfortunately it was given in gallons and not in the metric system, but you can see there an outlet that had 3 fryers with units this size. Okay, in other words, they're about a 38 or so liter fryer. Three of these installed in a small outlet like that. In a 1 month period, you're looking at saving about 700 kilograms of oil. Okay, 875 bushels of grain, 300 liters of diesel, 7 million liters of water, 900 liters of fertilizer, 40 liters of insecticides. That's just one outlet with 3 of these installed. So quite an impressive savings, and I think quite a significant reduction in your carbon footprint just by the installation of a new technology like this. So that I leave you with as a bit of food for thought, and I hope that you can now sort of stick with us as Dave goes on now and tells you a little bit more about the ins and outs of the product. I'll hand over to him.
Well done, Bruce. Cool. Some of us have been on the platform for many years. So I spent 40 years giving public talks throughout this country, sometimes to audiences of 30,000 people. So if you see a difference between Bruce's style and my style, the difference is 40 years. but he's unbelievably clever when he gets into your kitchen. That's where Bruce comes to the fore. Now, when it comes to money, this is the one part where when we tell people what this little jingle jangle thing costs, they run out of the door. They're gone like smoke, boy. And so it became important for us to reinvent the way we explain things. Because if I told you that this little thing cost 21,000 Rand, oh, thank you. Okay, let's all go now. But relax, because as with this technology, there are other magic things that we want to share with you to make it so affordable that in fact it's going to put money in your pocket instead of out of your pocket, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a minute. So is it worth the money? A nice little fellow there with a, I wish I had that. To buy enough Frylows, I will a wheelbarrow full of gold bars. So we're looking at a 20-litre bucket. Now my daughter at the back there running the video, Kelsey McKay, she's my daughter. She also sells oil in this demo, not really in real life. Although Bruce does sell oil, but in real life she doesn't sell oil. But in this demo, please, Kelsey, if you wouldn't mind, come and try and sell us some oil. Now, Bruce owns a restaurant. Not in real life. But we're going to pretend he owns a restaurant. And I'm going to pretend, really, this is what I am, I'm a Frylow salesman. So, this is how it works. Please, see how easy it is. So Bruce, you own a restaurant, right? And you buy oil, right, from Kelsey? Okay, cool, thank you very much. And so what are you paying for a bucket of oil? 400 bucks, eh? 400 bucks, right. So, would you mind giving Kelsey 400 bucks and she'll give you the bucket? 400 bucks, you got it there, boy? Okay, Kelsey, thank you so much. Now, Bruce, the thing is that Kelsey, you normally bought 2 of those, didn't you?
That's right.
Yeah, you normally bought 2. But now she's delivered 1.
That's correct.
Right. So in fact, half of that then should come to me. You've given her 400 Rand, right?
Yes, that's right.
But I've given you this thing, right? Pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Yes. Now, Kelsey, could you give me 200 Rand, please? You're not so happy, I know. We actually thank you very much for that. Thank you. You can manage the video machine on. Yes, sir. All the oil salesmen have got a face like that because they're only going to sell half the amount of oil in future. And that's why Bruce and I have been doing so much fighting, practicing, because when they come, we want to be ready. just bought a bulletproof vest the other day to ensure that we don't get shot by the oil people, because the oil people don't like us much. But you are going to like us a lot, right? So yes, but it actually gets better. Just when you thought it couldn't get better, guess what? It gets better. Because let's say, now remember what I've just said, you're not paying for it, Kelsey paid for it, right? Bruce didn't pay for it, but he's got the Frylow. Right? Keep that in mind, please, because one thing this afternoon I go home, I don't want to feel a failure that I didn't get that message across, because that's how simple it is, right? But now it gets better. I had Westbank come and visit me recently, and they said, Dave, the fact that that little Frylow there's got a serial number on it, it comes with a 5-year guarantee, we classify that as capital equipment, which means you can have a tax deductible by the government, and on top of that, we will finance it. So they always say that white men speak with forked tongue. Remember the old Apaches? They say the white man speaks with forked tongue. He says one thing, but he means another thing. So I want to explain that a little bit quickly. You can't get away with just one Frylow. Because, well, you can if you've only got one fryer, but then you're a miniature little outlet. Right. Thank you. So if you've got 3 fryers, you're relatively well in business, particularly if it's punished all the time, right? You're getting out a lot of chips and stuff, you're making a lot of money. So you need 3, which means that Westbank are not too keen to only invest or pay you or finance 1 unit. So we're talking about 3, which comes to about, there it is, 50,000, right? Wow. But if you took it over 24 months, this is the part now where Father Christmas lands, you would have to pay 2,600 Rand a month back to Westbank. But your savings is 4,500 Rand a month, because remember, you're paying, particularly if you've got 3 units, you're paying 9,000 Rand a month to the oil person. Like Kelsey, she gets 9,000 Rand a month. But if you took 4,500 Rand back from that, which is the 50%, right? You're still all with me, please? Okay, cool. So then you got, if you deduct the one from the other, you got 1,900, that's in red there. You got 1,900 Rand in your pocket after paying for Frylow, money for, I was going to say cannabis, because it's legal now, right? Ex-policeman, sorry sir, but it's legal now. Okay, so cool, relax. I make butter out of it, so yes, I do. I do. So I didn't plan to say that actually. So can you see that you walk away with money in your pocket after you've got the Frylow in there, you paid Westbank? I mean, come on, really. You know, Bruce said to me, Dave, whatever you do, don't say this on the stage. Don't call people brain dead, because they're going to get insulted. No, so I'm not going to. If we don't understand that, it's just a case of learning a little bit longer. Now, we said it can't get better. That was better, getting money in your pocket. Now what Frylow has done, I'm personally involved in 100 different things. Artificial intelligence is one of the things that I am involved in. Internet of Things, IoT, I'm involved in that. And I wanted to put sensors in all the deep fryers so that you have a management system in your kitchen that will send stuff to your phone and to your boss's phone and to his boss's phone to tell him that you haven't changed the oil. And then you're in deep SH12, which you don't want to be, because we value our jobs. So what happened is Frylow said to me, don't worry, we'll build you an app where you don't have to start installing little sensors in all the fryers and costing a fortune. We're going to build an app for the phone. And they did. Made my life so much easier. And it's going to make your lives incredibly easy. We haven't spoken about this, Warren, did we? No, I didn't speak to you about the app at all. Nobody knows about it. News, okay, cool. So, You can put as many fryers as you want into the system, and what the system does is it tells you, and I don't want to go into too much detail, there's a link there in blue at the bottom. Again, I'll send you these links if you want to know more about it, and you can go, there's a whole video that explains step by step what this app does. But it's really like a policeman in the kitchen, all right? And you can't get away with not changing the oil. So oil management system is there, even as it goes up the hierarchy of who gets to see this. If you don't do your job, again, you won't be able to, because somebody will know that you're not doing it. It's 15 years old, I said. I'm just going to quickly read it off here. We're in 50 countries. It comes with a 5-year guarantee. It lasts indefinitely. It's a one-off purchase. It really requires minimum to almost no maintenance. You just, when you're draining your oil and you're filtering it, you put this little unit into a pot of boiling water. When you've finished all that, you put your oil back in after you've cleaned your fryer. You dry off the unit that's been boiled, put it back in the oil. That's it for the rest of eternity. That's the system. But we do supply you with nice placards to put in your kitchen to remind you just how to do it. We are accredited by every single food safe organization worldwide. We've got British standards, we've got American standards, we've got NSF standards, and then we've got the seal of excellence from the Master Chefs Association. You don't get a higher one than that. So if you ask, is that rubbish that you're putting in your fryer? Far from it. Our clients run into the tens of thousands throughout the world. You name the hotels, we're in there. Shipping lines, we're in there. We're in everywhere, except South Africa. So guys, please make me rich and buy them. So I'm busy writing a book. I've written quite a few books, but I don't look like it because I don't look important. And actually, I'm not important because nobody bought the bloody books that I wrote. But we won't go there. This book is hoping going to be my pride and joy. I'll tell you why I'm telling you this. It's not to brag. It's called Culinary Disruption, which was the theme for this particular talk. The subtitle is Food and the Future. Food and the Future. And in my research that I've done over the last 5 months, and I spent an inordinate amount of time, I don't get much sleep because I'm a researcher by nature, is the future of food is changing so radically, and I've got a whole nother PowerPoint presentation just on the Internet of Things and how food is being served. My daughter spent the last month in Japan and went to these automatic restaurants. You don't see people, but the food comes. It's like cool, comes on a conveyor. There's a place called Pizza in America coming out now. If I explain it, it takes too long, so I don't want to. All I'm saying is the future is coming and it's coming fast. And if we still think that Pop and Vos is it, we're going to get life left behind. People are not going to come to your restaurant. Believe me, they're not. Okay. So the reason I put this up here is because I'm going to ask the audience, all of you esteemed young and middle-aged gentlemen here and ladies, if you feel strongly about what it is that you do, what it is that you are passionate about, and you'd like to get a little message out there with your name underneath it that says, I made this contribution of my wisdom, of my experience, then please get hold of me, because I'm going to put it in a book and I'm going to make you famous. You don't believe me? I can see it. You don't believe me. How about it? Are you willing? Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't a bit loud. That's fine. Okay. I wanted to just go back to this thing here. I don't know how many present here today know Rob Corliss. Now, Rob Corliss owns ATE. He's a 3 times James Beard House guest chef. This guy is world famous. But let me tell you, if I said the Naked Chef, Jamie Oliver, you'd know who I was talking about. Gordon Ramsay, you'd know who I was talking about. But he said that food is about caring. I'm just about finished, so relax, I'm getting off the platform now. Food is about caring. Demonstrate that we value people. We value health through our positive actions and forward-thinking food innovation and programs, such as this Frylow unit, right? They're asking you to get ahead of the game here. And Frylow is going to be one of those things that's going to help you do that. You genuinely want to serve your paying guests with the best possible food. I can tell you now, they will not thank you to put junk on their plate. The very reason you're here is to learn how to improve a meal on a plate for somebody who will pay you for that. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Now at last, there's a technology, it's called Frylow, you've just seen it. It's going to help you do that. It's going to help you achieve that. So we are saying here at Frylow, let us help you. Let us help you to give the best food possible to your guests who are going to pay you for that food. So, Gordon Ramsay, we spoke about Michelin. I'm not a chef. I don't even know what Michelin means. But it's obviously that one little stalk of herb in between pieces or something that looks nice on your plate. You can never get full from that. It's just, oh, I've had a meal, thanks very much. He says, I don't cook for the guide. I cook for customers. And I'm pretty sure as good stewards, you're going to do the same thing. From the farm to the fork, slow cooking. It's an incredibly important part of the future. Let's not get stuck in our history. Let's get innovative. Let's get with it. Let's be a part of cracking into the future with this new technology. So gentlemen, thank you very much. Ladies, thank you very much. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to ask them. Or should I just run away? Any questions? One thing. Shout, just shout. Okay, so yeah, I understand from a carbon footprint perspective. I did think about that, but it took me about 13 seconds because I had to focus on the culinary industry. So that's where we are at. And for lubrication, I know a little bit about lubrication for the automotive field. You see. Let me answer the question. This product thins the oil, right? It increases the thermal conductivity, and lubricants require you to cool down, so they want a thicker oil to create less friction. Sorry about that. So, any other questions? Please, let's keep it on the culinary. Okay, no, thank you very much. Thank you.
Look, I'd just like to thank Dave, really. I learned a couple of things there. Good firm grip. No lubrication. No. Listen, guys, you know what? While I was sitting here and listening to this, and in the last 2-3 decades of kitchens, plus a lot of chefs, guys, there are constantly innovations coming out. Okay? The whole idea of this, remember he said it wasn't about saving the money, it was about cooking better food. Now there are certain products that I've started working with where they come and they do development and that, and you know, the first thing is the chef goes in there, cranks the fryer up to 180, 200 degrees. And a lot of the people in food service that I'm working with in any kind of fried applications, they're all coming and they're saying, please, 170 degrees. Please, 174, don't go over. Why? Because it burns. It burns the crumbs, it burns the breading, it burns the product. You get that? I mean, think of it. The science is telling you, if you get the viscosity to the right point, that heat is going to penetrate and seal and encompass that cooked product that you're looking for. Have you ever had Chinese? Like real Chinese? Like excellent Chinese. Okay, the oil is not burnt. They use various methods of cooking to ensure that you get the best crispy product. It's not saturated in oil. It doesn't taste like the ginger ninja. Right. So, yes.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that this was developed by a Japanese scientist who was approached by the culinary industry in Japan. They said, we cannot get the tempura prawn just right. And can you please design or develop or invent something that will not burn the outside, but yet still cook this thing through all the way, so we get the perfect tempura prawn. Let me tell you, this is the only way with Frylow to get a perfect tempura prawn. Because the thermal conductivity in the oil has changed so dramatically that it will at 170 give you a better performance than at 180. But because it's 170, it cooks the prawn all the way through without burning the outside. Thank you so much.
Most definitely. Dave, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Did you guys learn something? You know, the biggest question I wanted to ask him is, what is it made of?
Ah. You want the answer?
What is it?
Okay,
just tell us.
It's a photocatalytic converting made of two elements with one in the middle. One is ceramic,
Yes.
the other one is titanium.
All right.
So in fact, they make bulletproof vests out of that stuff. The one in the middle comes from Harry Potter's wand. I don't.